Coming to you from our Eros Park studios in the capital, this is the Thursday edition of Primetime News. And for the next 20 odd minutes, I will be unpacking the stories making the headlines. It's always a pleasure having you. I'm Michael Madimba. In tonight's lead, Kavango East Regional Councillor Paulus Mbango on Wednesday raised concern in the August House over the alleged increase in the subsistence and travel budget for the presidency during the midterm budget review.
Only concern in the budget is with the president office that was allocated 8 million for S&T. My question is, we are going into election on 27 November to elect a new president. Now, what is a need of increasing the DSA for the office of the president with 8 million? Where does the president want to go? We are electing a new president. So I think, to me, that should not be a priority. That should not be a priority. Even in terms of traveling, I don't think that there is a need for a president to travel every now and then, knowing that someone is coming in the office. Yeah. So, for me personally, no, you honorable members, this is a platform you can come up and make your own statement. Personally, I'm not convinced with the increase of the S&T. And remember that December, except for the councillors, most of our politicians, the ministers, everyone, they go on holiday. Only us, the councillor, who continue working during December, even on Christmas Day. All the ministers, they go on holiday. Normally, they will go on holiday the whole December, the whole January, they only come back in February. So what is the use of increasing the S&T to go and do what? So I think we just have to be, we need to be logical here, and not just because of, not this blind loyalty.
On to a second story. Kavango East Regional Councillor Paulus Mbango has questioned the Namibia Statistics Agency's recently launched 2023 Population and Housing Census Main Report. Mbango pointed out concerns regarding both accuracy and clarity on groupings as well as data classifications. Here is an insight from the August House,
which was released by NSA on the 30th of October 2024, has raised serious concerns regarding both accuracy and clarity. Strange groupings and questionable data classifications are not just limited to Kavango East and Kavango West, but showed up in other regions too. Categories like not elsewhere specified fail to offer specific details about the regional populations, and similar issues are apparent in the ways other groups have been categorized. To put the Mbunza population at 5,000 is so untrue that even a child can recognize it. All colonial and past statistics show that the Mbunza population was comparable, close to that of the Wagdiriku. And everything look inaccurate in this latest data. In Kavango East and West, the Kavango Neck, which is a group not elsewhere specified, stands as another example of such a problematic classification, with over 81,000 people from Kavango, people who reportedly did not disclose their dialect. And this category ends up even larger than established communities like the Vambunza, Wagdiriku, Ambukushu, Vasambu, Banyembas, and so on. And are we really to believe that such a large population provided only vague answers and does not reflect issues in the data collection process itself?
United Nations Acting Resident Coordinator Samuel Kweku Okran has commended Namibia for launching the strategy for the transformation of the agri-food sector and for signing the country's Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program, Compact, also known as CAADP. He said the signing on Wednesday marks an important step in Namibia's commitment to advancing food security, job creation, and poverty eradication, as well as resilience building in agriculture. Mesa Sangeve produced this insight for us.
This commitment reaffirms Namibia's dedication to sustainable, inclusive agricultural growth and underscores the importance of cooperation at all levels. By signing the compact, Namibia joins a broader regional framework designed to accelerate agricultural growth across Africa, with a focus on food security, poverty reduction, and climate resilience. The compact sets clear commitments for increased public and private investment in agriculture, as well as a 10% national budget allocation to the sector.
Now, onto the global political scene. Donald Trump's crushing presidential victory ushered in a new era of uncertainty in the United States and the world, as defeated Kamala Harris gave a defiant concession speech while vowing to help his transition to power. An emotional Vice President Harris told tearful supporters in a speech in Washington to not despair, urging them to keep fighting after a loss. AFP furnishes us with more.
In our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States. And loyalty to our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
Stay tuned for your top roundup with the business segment afterwards. Welcome to the Primetime Biz segment, your leading source for all updates, business and economics. Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, Pohamba Shifeta, notes tourism is key to Namibia's economy, creating jobs and supporting businesses like tour companies, car rentals and hospitality, which all spur growth. The minister alluded to those remarks during an information sharing session on conservation for social and economic development. Let's have a listen.
We need to make sure that as a nation, we give hospitality as much as we can to our visitors, so that we create jobs for people, and also a monetary term contribution to our GDP. So we have felt it during COVID time.
Right.
So if you look at how much we lost during COVID time, billions of money, dollars. And apart from that, retrenchment in the sector was more severe than any other sectors, probably.
Staying atop the tourism sector, the Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, Pohamba Shifeta, has lauded Namibia's conservation efforts, particularly between communities and private farmers working to protect wildlife via government support and incentives. The minister noted these efforts are key in aiding both communities and private farmers manage losses from wildlife such as cheetahs and leopards while promoting biodiversity beyond national parks. Here's an insight from the briefing.
Namibia is known to be effective in conservation programs, more so because these conservation programs are then pursued by all. Much of this is done by communities. Most of the wild animals we have in Namibia, maybe some people when they get to the Tosha, they see thousands of wild animals. This is just probably and any other parks like Babata and others, you see sometimes even thousands of herd of buffaloes. You see hundreds of or 500 of elephants. This number is smaller than even the number that in private ownership, and also much more in community conservancies.
Okay.
So most of the animals are there. That means Namibia is known to be a conservation country.
Right.
It's a conservation nation because our conservation is done by mostly not by government. The government gives support and incentives, and then the communities, including the private farmers, they conserve this biodiversity. So it is something that is not really anywhere in the world that you find us. So most of animals you find in the world, they are either these wild animals, the majority of them are in the national parks.
This is where the top segment concludes for tonight. Stay tuned for the business and economics roundup and catch Sport Planet on the other side. Welcome to Sport Planet, the segment dedicated to all things sport in action. Football is the segment. The Mobile Telecommunications Limited Company, or MTC, breathed life and excitement into the local football scene with the launch of the MTC Maris Cup. Now at the launch, MTC's Chief Human Capital, Marketing and Corporate Affairs Officer, Tim Mikanjo, revealed the pre-season tournament will feature 16 Premier League teams who will all participate over 4 consecutive weeks early next year. More on the gist from this insert.
So MTC Maris now has the pleasure of launching what we call a pre-season tournament. All 16 Premier League teams are going to participate in this tournament that will be played over 4 consecutive weekends. Every of the 16 teams will receive an allowance of $30,000 Namibian for preparation fees for every team, for every game that they are going to win. This is not payment, this is an allowance to get the teams to prepare and to travel. We also have other exciting prizes. 5 or 6 lucky fans will win an amount of $5,000 Namibian in Maris money. All you have to do as a fan is to look at the MTC Maris product and come up with an innovative way of marketing the product in your own way. You post it, and the MTC Maris team is obviously going to look at the best entries, and you will stand a chance to win $5,000 Namibian in Maris money. We also have another exciting prize, which is for the 16 Premier League teams. One of those teams will walk away with $30,000 Namibian, and all this team has to do on a voluntary basis is get your players together, get your coaching staff together, and say, what is the most innovative way as a team that we can market this product? And the best entry will also walk away with $30,000 Namibian in Maris money. It is winner takes all. I did say that for preparation fees for every game that you win, the teams are going to receive $30,000 Namibian, except for the 2 teams that are going to the finals, that are going to receive each $40,000 Namibian.
On to some Champions League action. Paris Saint-Germain coach Luis Enrique called his side's 2-1 Champions League defeat inexplicable and unfair after Atletico Madrid scored a dramatic winner with the last kick off the game. Atletico coach Diego Simeone admitted PSG played better and added his team deserved the win. It looked as if the game at the Parc des Princes would end in a draw after Warren Zaïre-Emery's early opener for PSG was quickly cancelled out by Nahuel Molina in the first ever meeting of the clubs. Now, PSG have been let down by their finishing in the Champions League all season, and that was the case again as they failed to convert a host of chances. But Atletico did not look like winning it until Correa struck in the 93rd minute. The Spaniards would have been the happier of the two teams with a draw, especially as goalkeeper Jan Oblak had been forced into several second-half saves. Today, PSG played better, but we had the extra force that we lacked against Lille, added coach Simeone. The evening was also notable for the pre-match unfurling by PSG fans at one end of the stadium of an enormous banner in support of Palestinians in Gaza. War on the pitch, but peace in the world, said the banner, which also featured a Lebanese flag. That may lead to disciplinary action from UEFA, but that will probably be the least of PSG's worries for now. Stay tuned for your sports roundup. This is where we dock for tonight. Join me tomorrow as I bring you the Friday edition of a summary of the world around us in 20 minutes. From myself, Michael Madimba, and the entire production crew behind the scenes, it's good night.